Pinpoint weather.
Well, in addition to watching for that potential for strong storms tonight, we're also going to have to keep an eye out for areas of flooding to occur. We had a lot of heavy rain yesterday across parts of Trumbull and Mahoning counties. A flood watch is in effect through tomorrow morning. This is the excessive rainfall outlook. Our area in that level 2 of 4 category on this, that potential there that we could see heavy downpours with a cluster of storms we're watching for. Currently, things are quiet on Pinpoint radar. There hasn't been a whole lot of activity over the last few hours. Now, looking off to our west, that is where we're waiting on a complex of storms to develop. Our temperatures are around 80 degrees, but there is still a bubble of heat sitting off to our west, and we've tapped into some of the moisture that's associated with that as our dew points have jumped to around 70 degrees. So this sticky air that's around is going to be juice for thunderstorms to feed off of. Now, you could see there's a lot of 90s as you get over to Illinois, Indiana, southern Ohio, upper 80s to around 90, and you can kind of see, I'm going to draw a line through here that shows you where we have that little bit of a difference between temperatures that aren't as hot versus much hotter weather. This is going to kind of be the path that a complex of storms will ride along, that barrier between the very hot air versus the not so hot air, and it's the cluster that's going to fire up off to our northwest here. Now, currently we're beginning to see those storms developing. We're going to be watching the next 2 hours how this forms and how this comes together. That complex has the potential to be a little spicy for us later this evening. Damaging wind gusts, the primary concern with a line of storms that moves through. Flooding is possible. It could produce some pockets of hail. Tornado threat lower, but not zero, but it would be an isolated embedded pocket of rotation that's possible in this complex as it comes through. So later this evening, we're going to start watching for some isolated showers or storms that pop up. Any that fire ahead of that line also could be strong, but the main line that comes through, it'll be crossing over the lake around midnight, approaching as we come up on 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning, working through from 3, 4, 5 in the morning. By the time we start that morning drive, I expect that complex out of our area. That doesn't mean that we won't still have a leftover shower around, but the main event here is going to be the early part of the night. Now, as we come up on mid to late morning, there could be a sprinkle or two. The afternoon, I expect to become partly sunny. We'll try and get our temps back up into the lower to flirting with mid 80s. It is still going to be humid for your Friday, but then into Friday evening, we'll start seeing some of that humidity beginning to exit, and especially as we get into the weekend, those changes. So 69 tonight, storms developing, heavy rain possible. Storms may be strong to severe, especially between the windows of about 11 p.m. until we come to about 4 o'clock in the morning. And then for the start of the day, an isolated shower or rumble of thunder possible, becoming partly sunny with a sprinkle possible into the afternoon there. Saturday, as that cold front pushes through the area, could touch off a few more isolated showers, and then we dry out for the end of the weekend, not as hot, and we'll see a chance for a few showers or storms back in the forecast Tuesday.